my channel. I hope all of you have had wonderful and productive weeks. Mine has been a little crazy because currently my 4-year-old is sick and I am the type of mother that needs to check on them every 10 minutes. Otherwise, I just can't live with myself. So with that said, I've been lacking quite a bit of sleep and I myself have developed a sore throat. I, however, wanted to be consistent with my filming and I decided to film a short but sweet eye tutorial. Before I begin, I do want to share with you what's going to be on my background, and this is a beautiful painting that was gifted to me by someone very special, and to me it represents the world itself. I'm the type of person that analyzes literature back and forth, and I do the same thing with art because I am so passionate about it. It calls my attention a ton. This to me represents so many things. First of all, it's a heart that's been through war, but it's determined to keep itself together. The black parts in this painting represent the darkness that this world very sadly but very pronouncedly has. And it very uglily grows every single day. The gold parts to me represent the beauty that life has to offer. And notice that this heart is being chased by the dark parts, but it doesn't let it corrupt it. The gold parts are good enough for it to stick together, and that's what I love about it. It reminds me about my life, my heart as well, how it's been broken, but how I've decided to be positive and keep my heart intact. It reminds me how I have kids to protect and how I need to work very hard so that they can preserve their innocence as long as possible, because again, this world is just dark in 20 million different ways, and unfortunately all of us have to deal with the ugliness that it has. But we also have the right to just focus on the positives. So this is a very special painting for me. You will be seeing it on my background, so I did want to share it with you. Anyhow, without any delays, let me jump into this very sweet and short tutorial so that we can start doing makeup together. In today's tutorial, I am going to be using the Dose of Colors Friendcation palette, and I do have one more look in my channel with this palette. I will link it in the description bar just in case you're interested. It is more of a natural look, but since my boys did inspire the look today, I would definitely be using the blues. So without any delays, let's jump right into this quick tutorial. The first color that I am going to be using is the color Necessary, and it's this beautiful brown right here. It will serve as my transition color. I will apply it on a fluffy blending brush, and I'm simply going to blend that color all around my crease. And of course, if you know my method, then you know that I usually start on the outer corner so that I can leave most of the color there, and then I slowly blend the color in. Now this tutorial will be pretty fast because my boys are currently sick. My little one is currently sick, and I don't know, I have the tendency to check on him every 20 minutes, especially because I want to be sure that he doesn't have fever, and I want to make sure that he's breathing, because with little kids, you just worry like that. And if you're a mom, then you probably understand exactly what I'm saying. I'm a little paranoid. I just want to check on them every 10 seconds, every 10 minutes, and that's just the type of mom I am. Now I'm about to apply one of my favorite snacks, or should I say colors, tighter on my crease. It is this warm brown right here. It's called Churro. Remember that as I work on my eye look, if you want to follow along but you don't have the same palette, you can simply replace the colors that I'm using for colors that are similar. Remember that the most important thing is to practice the technique. Of course, if you're an expert on makeup, then you don't really need technique. Maybe you're just looking for ideas. But if you're a beginner, then you can simply grab any eyeshadow and follow along with me. And I'm just making sure that the color doesn't go too far up. Again, I'm leaving most of the color intensity on the outer corner. And then I'm just slowly spreading it towards the inner corner. I am trying to shape my eye as I deposit the color. I want to make it look round and pretty. With no additional product, I'm about to use my blending brush one more time, and I'm simply going to make sure that the colors that I applied are well blended and diffused. Remember that the more blended your eye look is, the better it will look, because the colors get lost within each other. Not in a bad way, but in a really beautiful way. You can still see the color difference, but you can see how the color just kind of diffuses into the other. And that's really the purpose of the blending. You can still see both colors, but you can see it as kind of like smoke. It starts dark, it gets lighter, and then it slowly goes away. I am going to be applying the color A Moment on my eyelid, and I'm simply going to use my finger to do that right now. I'm going to simply spread the color all over my eyelid. And I'm just leaving the color as I apply it. I'm kind of spreading it as I'm putting it on my eyelid. And I did kind of have a little bit of fallout there, but I'll clean it up in a moment. Now, one thing that disappointed me about this palette is that the first week they gave it to me, I immediately dropped it and it broke. So that was a definite heartbreak for me, but I mean, a little bit of the blue color still stayed on the pan, and that's what I'm working with. Now let me take off the fallout super quick. So this is the best I could do when it came to removing the fallout. I struggled just a little bit, more than a little bit, I'm not gonna lie. But do remember that it is better to apply your eyeshadow after you apply your foundation, especially when you're working with intense colors like the blue on my eyelid. The color is beautiful, but yes, if you make a mistake, it's hard to remove, especially when you have your foundation on. If you don't have your foundation on, it's just that much simpler to correct the mistake. I am going to make my eye look a little deeper on the outer corner, and I am going to use this warm shade right here. I'm going to apply it on this blending brush. It's just an e.l.f. blending brush, and again I'm going to try to deposit most of the color on the outer corner, and then I am going to go in to blend in that blue, that beautiful, beautiful blue. Now, one of the reasons that I love blue is because every time I see the color, I think about my boys. One of my son's birthdays is on February, and the other one has his birthday on March. So this is just the perfect time to put this tutorial up, because the inspiration did come, of course, from them. Tomorrow they're going to have a birthday party, and my little one's still a little sick. So I don't like that, but hopefully the party turns his mood upside down and he feels a little better. I am going to add the color necessary one more time on my fluffy blending brush, and I am going to blend everything going on up here. Notice that I did start on the outer corner, and then I'm just slowly going to move in. And I'm just making sure that the colors are diffused, that they're hanging one with the other. You know, hanging like if they were bestest friends. With this flat brush, I am going to apply the color Basic, and this is just the lightest shade in the palette. It's not enough to be a highlight, I don't think, or I don't feel, but it is going to be enough to separate my eyebrow from every other color. I just want to make sure I don't go too crazy and take it too far up. And right now, I'll just highlight the highest point of my brow with a highlight. And again, I'm just making sure that this area right here is not too dark. With my very basic and cheap e.l.f. pencil brush, I am going to be taking the color Churro one more time, and I'm simply going to blend that color underneath my lash line. And I'm just diffusing the color very slowly. And just like old times, I will say that what you do to one eye, you do to the other. And this is what we have just by using the eyeshadow palette. Again, excuse me for the fallout. You can probably see little blue sparkles underneath my eyes, but that was my mistake. And since I am a little tight on time, and since I myself, I'm a little sick, then I won't refilm this. Otherwise, I promise I thought about doing it because I don't want the fallout to just stand out. The eye look itself is beautiful, but do remember to apply your eyeshadow before you apply your foundation, because if you do make a mistake, that's the easiest way to correct it. And again, blue is intense. Blue is a color that's on your face. Specifically these, they are very intense colors, so they are hard to remove, but the eyeshadow look itself is very, very pretty. Now, if you'll excuse me, I will remove the fallout once again, and I'm also going to finish the rest of my makeup. I hope you enjoyed this very sweet and short tutorial. I am going to go check on my sons, of course, and I myself might drink something to soothe this throat because I've been taking care of them so much, specifically my little one, that this weekend I just feel it. I feel it. Of course, like every mother, I would want to feel it 10 times worse, just so that my little one won't feel it at all. Anyhow, I'll be back in a flash, my friends. So right here you have the final look. And even my lip color was inspired by my son's. Usually my son prefers nude lip colors. When I wear something too bold, he'll ask me to take it off. So I'm thinking that maybe he's gonna be the type of guy that likes something more natural. Or perhaps by watching his mama, he'll learn to appreciate bold looks. We've come to the end of this video. Hopefully you found it helpful or at least a little bit interesting. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe if you still haven't. Hit that bell button for notifications. Please do leave your comments and requests down below, and I'll see you around next time. Have a very lovely day or a very beautiful night. Goodbye.